Hey,
Cheers.
cheers.
Whew. I think we got a bath and a shower today out there.
Wow, man. I'll tell you what an adventure. Another adventure of bourbon after bugs.
Bugs.
This time.
This time.
We're going to doing the lobster thing down here in Marathon, Florida, or down in the Florida Keys. So, man, it was a challenge. We came in yesterday and great day. I mean, man, we had a good time. Got in here, everything was clicking, and then we're all excited. This morning we get up, and of course, what do we have to deal with?
Rain.
Rain.
Rain, bad storms, all that good fun stuff.
Bad storms. Oh yeah, bad storms. I mean, it was horrible. So we actually we waited it out, you know, and we were like, yeah, everybody does. This is mini lobster season, so there's 2 days before the main lobster season kicks off that everybody can go out. They call it mini lobster season, and so we go out.
It's the last consecutive Wednesday and Thursday of July.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. We did it last year. We loved it, and so we did it again. Anyway, we of course we get up and we're all fired up, and of course it's raining, so we go and we actually charter a boat and a captain that goes out and takes us out, so we don't have to worry about dealing with any of that. They kind of know where to go, so we're just kind of, you know, we basically are running with what we have to deal with, and they run with the boat and take care of everything where we're going to get the lobsters and stuff. So
it allows us time to set up cameras and do everything when we hire these charters to help us out with everything, for sure.
But it was a monsoon. Literally, we get there, we're driving down there, we see the red, the green, all the radars just blew up. And so, I mean, it was as bad as it could be.
A tropical storm.
Tropical storm. I don't know how many inches it rained in a couple hours. But so it delayed everything. We wanted to leave at 9 o'clock, so we didn't get out till what time, Clay? 11 or 11:30?
Yeah, it was like 11. Like we started going out at 11. So we're driving there. It's pouring. We get there, still pouring. I throw the drone up. We look at the clouds just all around us, and then we had that one sucker hole that looked really good.
Oh yeah, the sucker hole makes you think you're gonna go see a little blue sky going down. You're like, oh, we can go, and then when you get out there, wham! It just rolls right over, and then you get drenched. So, but it was so bad just going out there. The rain was just out of control.
It was, and my cameras got absolutely soaked. I'm surprised this one is still working right now. That one was in a waterproof casing, but this one. Woo, I probably have to turn in a warranty on that one there, Buck. I don't know about it.
So we get out there. This is the cool thing, and we love doing this. So we get out there, and so anybody who's never seen this or done this, so you basically have a net in one hand, and you have a stick in the other, and you kind of dive down, you look at the lobster, find the lobster, and then you kind of prod him out with the stick from the rock, and he scoops or actually swims into the net, or you scoop him up with the net. And then that's kind of how you catch them when you're doing this. So it's a little trick to it. But Clay, and Jacques Cousteau, which we call Donnie Marcy, the professional here, we all dove. We did the diving part of it, and we scuba down, and what was it, 20 feet, Clay, or something like that?
Yep, 20 feet was about the max. I think we averaged about 18, though.
Yeah, so we were at 20 feet, we were diving, and then Rob and Jeremy were using the hookahs, which is basically a couple of lines running off of a generator.
Basically an air compressor.
That's pumping oxygen, so they can dive down 150-foot lines. So they were using that. So and the storms were so bad. I mean, like Angela and Amy both
6-foot swells getting out there. Yeah, it was
bad. So
and the current, the current
was ridiculous. We're swimming and you could barely get to where you're going because the currents were so bad. But first we jump in, man, and I mean before we can get down there, Rob and Jeremy, they're gathering them up
just
left and right,
hitting them hard.
So yeah, it was. And then once we get down there and we start doing our thing, I mean, it's just, you know, we had the best time. You can see them. There would be 4 or 5 under each, you know, under a rock here or under rocks over here, and then you just swim from one to the next. And I mean, one of the funnest things you can do. I mean, if you guys have never done this, you got to come down there and try this. I mean, Clay, what would be if you said the biggest adventure in the lobstering piece, what would it be? I mean, is it the catching the lobster, or is it just going down and looking at all the sights underwater? Because we saw a huge crab, and we saw a shark. I mean, we saw all kinds of things.
It's a part of this world that we don't see a lot.
Right.
We are above ground a lot. So down there, just all of it.
Yeah, it's a whole other ballgame.
I can't pick or choose, but just everything down there.
Oh yeah, and then learning to scuba or being down there where you're just kind of floating around with them all. I mean, it's a whole other world.
With the camera thing, I've never worked. It was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. Holy smokes, it was great. And then we got a great story all the way up to it, you know.
Yeah.
And of course the camaraderie. We got a great group of people that's with us, so it's awesome. But Buck is going to talk about Jefferson's Ocean tonight, and it's special to me. It's Jefferson's Ocean, which I think is appropriate for being out here going for lobsters. But Buck, tell us a little bit more about Jefferson's Ocean.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. We love this bourbon. This is it's kind of unique to what we're doing here. But so Jefferson's bourbon was founded by Trey Zeller and his father Chet, which was 1997, I think. They were the distillery is in Crestwood, Kentucky, and he made the whiskey. It's kind of drawn down through time or heritage. His grandmother, 8th generation, back in 1799, started making the whiskey and selling it, and she was arrested for it, which is a unique thing you don't hear all the time. But anyway, so Trey Zeller was an entrepreneur of this deal, and he created the bourbon, him and his dad. And kind of a unique thing about this Jefferson's Ocean is that it is aged at sea. And so the Jefferson's Ocean would stay in the barrels for 7 to 8 years on land, and then 5 to 10 months after that they would put it into a barrel and then put it on a ship, and then they would age it at sea. And so the idea was, him and his buddy Chris Fisher were having drinks on his ship or his boat one night, and he was watching the Jefferson Reserve move back and forth, and he's like, that's a great idea. What if we did that? It would move back and forth in those barrels. What kind of taste would it be? So actually he thought, okay, let's put it on a boat. Let's put it on the ship and see what happens. So that's kind of how he came up with the idea. And wow, what a hit! It's been awesome. So, yeah, it's so the moving around in the barrels, the agitation in the barrels brings out a salty caramel flavor to it.
I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, you can definitely taste it in this.
Oh yeah.
And then that kind of brings that flavor out. And then when you have the salty air out in the ocean and all that, it brings a briny more of a Scotch flavor out to it. So anyway, but so you know, it's a great bourbon. It's a unique thing. He kind of got out of the box by aging it on these ships, you know, for 5 to 10 months. And so, yeah, it's a big hit, man. We love it. It's a great bourbon. And I mean, we couldn't fit us any better for what we're doing. We call it bourbon after bucks, but it really is bourbon after bugs because we call them saltwater bugs. But anyway, it's been a great trip.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been a great trip. And I can see how the sloshing around, you know, can really, because whenever you feel like you've got a barrel inside of a house, it just sits still and you don't get all of the you know, bourbon over all the parts of the barrel. But maybe they go in there and move around a little bit more.
It's impressive. It's amazing to me how much the wood in those barrels bring out a taste, bring out the actual taste in bourbon.
Well, when it goes in there, I mean, you know, whenever it's distilled, it goes in clear and it comes out the brown. Yep. So I mean, that just shows you. Right. It's crazy, but
yeah, it's unique. So it's a great bourbon and fits us for this trip, man. We've had a great time with it. I mean, you guys, if you haven't done this before, need to come up here to the Keys, mini lobster season, and jump in here and do a little bit. You got 2 days of it, and lobsters everywhere. I mean, it's an awesome time. So we had a great time with it. So.
Maybe you'll be like us and feel like you were on the deadliest catch.
Oh, that's exactly, yeah. A little bit of monsoon never held us back. We jumped right in there to it. So
man.
Wait till you guys see the video. But hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Another adventure in the books here for Bourbon After Bucks, man. Thank you.
Subscribe, like, comment. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.